Was this really just a simple mistake? Or is it something much deeper that we've all been missing? Seriously, was Willow Tate ever really the saint everyone made her out to be? I know we've spent years defending her, but now it feels like the mask is finally slipping. What if the Saint Willow we saw was just a cover? What if the evil twin genetics she shares with Nellie Benson were never actually dormant? Today, we're digging into the total collapse of Willow Tate's world. Honestly, karma isn't just knocking on her door anymore. It's moved in. It's bringing a suitcase full of consequences that are about to leave her with absolutely nothing. You have to look at the current state of Port Charles. It is a total masterclass in tension. The woman who was the moral compass for the Quartermaines for years has officially crossed a line. She's a kidnapper now. Think about that for a second. Willow Tate, the cult survivor and cancer survivor, is now a captor. She's keeping Drew Kane drugged and locked inside their own home. Why did this happen? Well, think about it. This isn't just happening out of nowhere. It's the result of a woman who spent her whole life under someone's thumb. First it was Harmony, then it was Michael. She finally snapped. She decided that she was going to be the one holding the leash this time. Willow thought she was safe for a while. Alexis Davis actually got her acquitted for shooting Drew. Thanks to double jeopardy, she won't go to jail for the shooting. But she forgot something. The legal system is only one part of her problem. The real threat isn't a judge. It's the secrets leaking through her floorboards. Between Jen Sidwell's Devil's Bargain and Drew's silent revenge, Willow isn't playing the game anymore. She is the prize in a very dangerous war. To really get why Willow is hitting this wall, we have to look at her DNA. Let's talk about the Nellie paradox. For years, we all thought Willow was the good twin and Nellie was the evil one. But here's a scary question. What if Nellie was just more honest about who she was? Look at what Willow is doing. She's drugging her husband. She's faking gratitude while staring at his paralyzed body with pure dread. That is arguably more chilling because it's so calculated. She wraps it all up in a bow and calls it helping. Internally, Willow must be vibrating with terror. But she probably feels a weird sense of power too. She's been subservient for so long. She didn't even know who she was without a man. Now she has found a way to make a man stay exactly where she wants him. This isn't just about hiding a crime. It's about a woman who is so afraid of losing her perfect life that she's become a monster to save it. Don't you think that's a bit realistic? It proves that trauma doesn't just go away. It can turn into a desperate need for control. Now, let's talk about the man lighting the fuse, Jen Sidwell. When he walked into Willow's house and offered her a devil's bargain, he knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't just threatening her. He was giving her bait he knew she couldn't turn down. He offered her an endless supply of the drug that keeps Drew silent. For someone like Willow, who is drowning in guilt but too proud to admit it, that drug is a lifeline. This move is pure genius. It turns Willow from a desperate woman into an active accomplice. Every time she reaches for that needle to keep Drew quiet, she's committing a new crime. Can you imagine the panic she feels when Harrison Chase knocks on the door? He's an honest cop standing right next to a secret that would destroy him. She has to smile and play the doting wife while a fugitive is in her kitchen and a paralyzed victim is in her bedroom. That kind of pressure is enough to break anyone. We are seeing the cracks form in real time. But while Willow is watching the monsters inside her house, she's being blindsided by someone else. Let's talk about Brooklyn Quartermaine. She might be the one person who finally destroys everything for Willow. And she's using the same weapon Willow loves, deception. With an assist from Brick, Sonny's tech guy, Brooklyn is framing Willow for the hit and run that nearly killed Jordan and Curtis Ashford. This is a great strategy. Brooklyn isn't just trying to get her arrested. She's trying to destroy the reputation that protects Willow. If everyone thinks Willow left two people to die on the side of the road, her career in Congress is over. Her standing in the community will disappear instantly. Brooklyn knows that Chase only loves Willow because he thinks she's good. If she strips that image away, she's aiming for Willow's heart, not just her freedom. We can't forget the horror of what Drew is going through. He's been turned into a piece of furniture in his own home. He has to watch his wife spiral while he's a prisoner in his own body. But a prisoner is always waiting for a crack in the wall. Drew's decision to blink his way into a revenge plot is the ultimate justice. He used the only weapon he had left, his eyelids, to point Detective Joe Fitzpatrick toward the truth. This is one of the most powerful moments we've seen. Drew isn't just looking for justice. He wants to burn down the fortress Willow built. There's a dark satisfaction in seeing him use his silence to take her down. He isn't a victim anymore. He's a strategist who knows that one blink can be more dangerous than 1,000 words. Why is Willow acting like this? It feels like she's following in Harmony's footsteps. Growing up in a cult taught her that survival means pleasing a higher authority. For a long time, that was Michael. Now the authority is her own fear. By keeping Drew locked away, she's recreating the environment she escaped. She has become her own Shiloh. She's using drugs and isolation to control her own reality. It's tragic to see a survivor become a perpetrator like this. Her cruelty isn't just about being mean. It's a defense mechanism that has gone totally rogue. She's so scared of being vulnerable again that she'll destroy anyone to stay on top. Everything is moving so fast now. All these separate plot threads are turning into a noose. You have the DA, Justine Turner, who already hates Willow and wants any reason to throw the book at her. You have Curtis Ashford, who is about to find out his recovery was delayed because of a hit-and run he thinks Willow caused. And then there's Jack Brennan. He might have the secret box of evidence that could sink both Willow and Nina for good. Willow is standing in a room where the walls are closing in. The pressure from Brooklyn's frame job, Drew's blinks, and Sidwell's blackmail is going to lead to a total collapse. I think we're going to see a Nellie-level breakdown soon. She might stop pretending to be nice and show her true colors. But unlike Nellie, Willow has more to lose. She has Amelia and Wiley, and Michael is already prepared to take them away. If Willow gets outed as a hit-and-run driver or a kidnapper, Michael won't hesitate to strike. His ego is his biggest motivator. If he realizes he's been fooled by a woman who is just like Nellie, he will use every resource he has to erase her from his life. This is the ultimate karma. Willow says she did all of this for her kids, but her actions are the reason she might never see them again. The person who destroys everything might not be Drew. It might be Michael, the man she thought was her protector, finally deciding she's a hazard to his legacy. Is Willow's cruelty going too far? Setting up Tracy Quartermaine for a crime she didn't do is pretty bad. Getting nasty with the matriarch in her own home, that's not the move of a victim in over her head. Those are the actions of a woman who thinks she's untouchable. Karma isn't just about punishment. It's about balance. Every lie she told to stay a saint is a debt she has to pay back. Watching her lose her seat in Congress, her husband, and her freedom might be the only way this ends. We also have to look at Nina Reeves in all of this. She's so desperate for Willow's love that she's basically an accomplice now. But even Nina might turn on her. Can you imagine how Willow will feel if the one person who always let her treat them like garbage finally says enough? If Nina realizes Willow put their family in Sidwell's crosshairs, her maternal instinct might turn into a survival instinct. There's also the race for Brennan's evidence. Nina and Willow are panicking. They have to get to that evidence before Drew opens his mouth. This is where the safety of Willow's world disappears. You can't blackmail your way out of a digital footprint. If Brennan talks, Willow's fortress will be a pile of rubble by sunset. Isn't it ironic? Willow is being framed for an accident she didn't commit while she's actually committing a much worse crime in her bedroom. It is the ultimate soap opera twist. She might go down for the one thing she's actually innocent of because nobody believes her anymore. It's the boy who cried wolf scenario, but the wolf is Willow Tate King. The summer preview hints at a dangerous summer incident and Drew regaining mobility, When Drew finally stands up, Willow's reign of terror is going to end with a bang. I think there's going to be a huge confrontation in the Quartermaine living room where the saint is finally unmasked. The look on Chase's face when he realizes she's a kidnapper will be heartbreaking. Chase represents the audience's trust. When he turns his back on her, the viewers will lose their safe harbor in Willow. We can't forget that Willow was under Shiloh's thumb once. Shiloh used drugs and control to keep people in check. Now, Willow is doing the exact same thing to Drew. She has become her own worst nightmare. She's using the tools of her abuser to protect a life built on the idea of being a survivor. It's a tragic cycle. The victim becomes the perpetrator to make sure they are never a victim again. In the end, I think Willow might end up exactly like her sister. She could be a pariah in the town that used to love her. The evil twin story is just too strong to ignore. We've seen her spiral for months, and a spiral only ends when it hits the ground. Whether she ends up in Pentonville or on the run, her time as the darling of Port Charles is over. She chose the devil's bargain, and now the devil is here to collect. The tragedy is that she could have had it all if she had just been honest. Instead, she chose the path of Nellie, and karma is hitting her twice as hard because she had twice as much to lose. Now, I really want to hear from you. Do you think Willow has officially become a full-on villain? Or is she just a victim of her past trauma? If you were Chase, could you ever forgive her for what she did to Drew? Tell me your theories in the comments. Do you think Drew is actually framing her with those blinks, or is he telling the truth? And do you think Michael will actually take the kids away for good? Was this really just a simple mistake? Or is there something much deeper that we've all been missing? Honestly, was Willow Tate ever really the saint that everyone in Port Charles made her out to be? I know we have all spent years defending her, but now it feels like the porcelain mask is finally starting to slip. What if the Saint Willow we saw was just a very well-crafted cover? What if the evil twin genetics she shares with Nellie Benson were never actually dormant, but just waiting for the right moment to wake up? Today, we are taking a deep dive into the total, shocking collapse of Willow Tate's world. I'm telling you, karma isn't just knocking on her door anymore. It has basically moved in and brought a suitcase full of consequences that are about to leave her with absolutely nothing. You really have to look at what is happening in Port Charles right now to understand how intense this is getting. It is a total masterclass in psychological tension, mostly because the woman who was the moral compass for the Quartermaines for years has officially crossed a line into kidnapper territory. Think about that for a second. Willow Tate, the woman who survived a cult and a heart-wrenching battle with cancer, is now a captor holding someone against their will. She is keeping Drew Kane drugged and locked in inside their own home, which is just wild when you think about her history. Why did this happen? Well, think about it. This didn't just happen in a vacuum. It is the result of a woman who has spent her whole life under someone's thumb. First, it was her mother Harmony in that cult, and then it was Michael. It feels like she finally snapped and decided that she was going to be the one holding the leash this time. Willow thought she was safe for a while because of a lucky break in court. Alexis Davis actually managed to get her acquitted for shooting Drew not once, but twice. Thanks to the rules of double jeopardy, she knows she won't go to jail for those specific shots. But she forgot one very important thing. The legal system is only one of her problems. The real threat isn't a judge or a jury. It is the secrets that are starting to leak through the floorboards of her own house. Between the devil's bargain she made with Jen Sidwell and Drew's silent revenge, Willow isn't the one playing the game anymore. She has become the prize in a very dangerous war that she might not be smart enough to win. To really get why Willow is hitting this wall, we have to look at her actual DNA. Let's talk about the Nellie paradox for a minute. For years, we all assumed Willow was the good twin and Nellie was the evil one. But here is a scary question for you. What if Nellie was just more honest about who she really was? Look at what Willow is doing right now. She is drugging her husband and faking gratitude while staring at his paralyzed body with pure, unadulterated dread. That is arguably more chilling than anything Nellie did because it is so calculated and quiet. She wraps all her cruelty up in a pretty bow and calls it helping. Doesn't that just make your skin crawl? Internally, Willow must be vibrating with absolute terror every single day. But the funny thing is, she probably feels a weird, addictive sense of power too. She has been subservient for so long that she didn't even know who she was without a man telling her what to do. Now she has found a way to make a man stay exactly where she wants him, even if he can't move a muscle. This isn't just about hiding a crime. It's about a woman who is so afraid of losing her perfect life that she has become a monster to save the illusion of it. Don't you think that's a bit too realistic? It proves that trauma doesn't just go away when you leave a cult. It can mutate into a desperate, ugly need for control. Now, let's talk about the man who is really lighting the fuse on her life, Jen Sidwell. When that fugitive walked into Willow's house and offered her a devil's bargain, he knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't just threatening her with a gun. He was giving her bait he knew she could never turn down. He offered her an endless supply of the very drug that keeps Drew silent and trapped. For someone like Willow, who is drowning in guilt but too proud to admit she made a mistake, that drug is a total lifeline. It's a classic trap, isn't it? This move by Sidwell is pure genius in the worst way possible. It turns Willow from a desperate woman into an active, willing accomplice. Every single time she reaches for that needle to keep Drew quiet, she isn't just managing a situation, she is committing a brand new crime. Can you even imagine the panic she feels when Harrison Chase knocks on the door? Here is this honest, hardworking cop standing just inches away from a secret that would absolutely gut him if he knew the truth. She has to stand there, smile, and play the doting wife while a fugitive is hiding in her kitchen and a paralyzed victim is stashed in her bedroom. That kind of pressure is enough to break anyone, and we are finally seeing the cracks form in real time. But while Willow is busy watching the monsters inside her own house, she's being completely blindsided by someone else. Let's talk about Brooklyn Quartermain, because she is on a mission. She might be the one person who finally destroys everything for Willow, and she isn't even using a gun to do it. She's using the same weapon Willow loves so much, deception. With a little assist from Brick, who we know is Sunny's top tech guy, Brooklyn is framing Willow for the hit-and-run accident that nearly killed Jordan and Curtis Ashford. It is a brilliant strategy, don't you think? Brooklyn isn't just trying to get Willow arrested. She is trying to destroy the very reputation that protects her from consequences. If everyone in town thinks Willow left two people to die on the side of the road, her career in Congress is over before it really started. Her standing in the community will disappear in an instant. Brooklyn knows that Chase only loves Willow because he truly believes she is a good person at her core. If she can strip that image away and show him the truth, she is aiming for Willow's heart, not just her freedom. It makes you wonder, how will Willow even try to explain this one away? We also can't ignore the total horror of what Drew is experiencing right now. He has been turned into a piece of furniture in his own home. He has to lay there and watch his wife spiral into madness while he is a prisoner inside.